Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren. Welcome to Plants and Teens. Mia, please cooperate. If you're gonna be an intro, you gotta cooperate. Anyways, this video today is gonna be about my monthly updates. I decided to do a video like this once a month just to kind of show you guys. I know I show you guys like my new plants, things that I get, things that I order, but then you might want to see how they're doing. So that's what this video is about. It's gonna be showing some good, some bad, and some ugly. So stay tuned. And before we get started, I just wanted to take a minute to thank my subscribers, my new subscribers, returning subscribers, you guys that are commenting and liking the video. It always helps to see and hear the feedback, and I'm always welcome to any suggestions in the comments below. All right, so let's get into these updates. And starting off with my Gloriosum. Yikes. She's not looking that good. Like, I don't know if this is just a natural process of this leaf dying off, but I'll try to, as I talk about each plant, just show any pictures or videos I have of progress along the way. But I don't know. At first, I just had this little yellowing at the top here. And that was before I got my mini greenhouse. So I got the mini greenhouse and then it just continued. Like, it just continued yellowing. So it could just be a natural dying off, but I was getting like some abnormally like green algae stuff going on with my pond pumice situation. I don't know if you can see that. This plant was sent to me in pumice, and I've just since been sitting it in liquid earth water, and I noticed this green algae stuff growing since I put it in my mini greenhouse. So I'm assuming that it was too much moisture, too much humidity in there. It's only usually at about between 50 and 55% humidity, but I guess it was too much. I don't know. So I was away for the past couple of days, so I didn't sit it in the reservoir. I just let it dry out, and so it is a little less green than what it was before. And it does still have this growth point here, which still looks good. And unfortunately, when I first got it, Lulu was being very curious. It was on a lower level shelf and she knocked it over. And when she knocked it over, she broke off the tip of that growth point there. So I guess that's why it looks a little dark like that. But it's finally doing something. After it got knocked over and was traumatized by Lulu, it was doing nothing for weeks. Like, it was just not moving. And so it's finally growing up a little bit. And I don't know if it's just sacrificing this leaf for this. I mean, it's strong. Like, it's not, like I don't know, but it just looks sad. It looks sad. I don't know if it was overwatering and that plus the green algae, but I don't know. It was super dry. I had to water it. So I just set it in some liquid dirt water again and hoping for the best. Not sure what's going on with this. If you think you know what's going on with it and you have some tips, please let me know in the comments below. That's my Gloriosum. And if you guys remember, I also have a crystallinum that was gifted to me. It looks pretty good still. It did have a little crisping here of the tip. I got it at the same time that I got my Gloriosum. It does have a browning tip here. This started to happen before I put it in my mini greenhouse, and it's not spreading, so I'm thinking that that's doing it some good. But it was sitting in water for probably a good month, maybe month and a half. It was sitting in water, and I finally potted it up in some pond with some liquid dirt water. And just recently, like today, I put this damp moss on here because the base just seemed really dry. And I feel like anthuriums like to be kept a little moist. So that's why I did that. I'm hoping that it helps because I would like another leaf. I only have one little leaf that is beautiful, but I'd like another one. So I'm hoping that this will stimulate some growth and give me another leaf without losing this one. But we shall see. And next I have my baby Frydek. This is a happy update. Like, those weren't not happy, but this is a happy update. And if you've seen my Instagram, I was posting about how worried I was about this plant because for some strange reason, this is like curling like this. I have no idea why. It started curling slightly when it was unfurling, and it wasn't yet in my mini greenhouse. And then I put it in the mini greenhouse and it kind of curled up more. So I don't know. I don't know if it's a humidity thing. I assumed that this was a humidity thing. This started to happen again before I put it in the mini greenhouse, and so probably for like a good week and a half, I just had these 3 leaves. Nothing was happening. This was kind of stagnant, and this happened recently. I think this is just a burn from the grow light. But then this baby happened. So this literally popped up between Thursday night and now Monday afternoon. Like there was no sign of this leaf that I saw on Thursday, and now this whole entire thing popped up. So I don't know what happened, but I'm happy that it is finally giving me another leaf. I hope I don't lose this one. It had 1 more leaf, so this is the 2nd oldest leaf. The other one was it died off. This one looks like it's on its way out also. I would like to keep more than 3 leaves, but it is winter, so, you know, I can't expect too much, but she's doing pretty good. I was very happy to see this leaf, and it looks like it's gonna be a nice size. I'm super, super excited about that. So that's my baby Frydek, Michelitziana. And at the same time that I got that one, I got this black velvet, excuse me, and it had a lower leaf that I pulled off because it died off. And again, it was starting to crisp on the tips. So that's when I got the mini greenhouse. And this is the newest leaf, the one that was unfurling when I got it. It looks pretty good. It feels good. It doesn't feel dry, but it is a little smaller than its previous leaf, if you can tell. So that was a little concerning. So I don't know, I'm just watching it closely. I don't see any signs of new growth, but it looks good. It looks okay. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy about how it feels. Like it doesn't feel super dry and cardboardy. It feels nice, and like you can tell it's keeping water in there. Like it's a nice, like supple, velvety feeling. I love it. So it's doing pretty good. My black velvet's doing okay. It's not very dark. Actually, I'm lying. It does look pretty dark. It's actually really beautifully dark. Maybe it's just from the light of my ring light. That's why it doesn't look dark from here. But in person, it's really dark and beautiful. So yeah, she's doing really good. This is a good one. Even though I don't have another leaf yet, it's still a good one. Okay. Next is my philodendron burley marks, and I don't know. This is like a mixed update. Like it had that leaf that was stuck. It's unstuck now. I think I pulled it out a little bit, and it's fine, but it's not really, I don't know, I just expected this to like take off, like everybody's like, oh, burley marks, they grow like a weed, they just grow so easy. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or if it's just because it's winter, but it does sit on a heat mat in my mini greenhouse, and I mean, the roots look good. It has some new roots there. I don't know if, it had some roots. I don't know if that's particularly new, but they look healthy. So that root there. And then, this one looks pretty good too. Root there. It looks good, healthy. I do think maybe this, I don't know if I can show it without dropping it, but there's a little growth point there that I don't think that was there. I'm not sure, but it looks good. The growth points look good. This leaf, however, it's there. I hopefully won't lose it. But yeah, I don't know. It does have another tiny, I hope I showed that. It has the tiniest little growth point there. That's definitely new. So it's growing. It's just moving slower than I expected. So that's my burley marks. And then this is part of what's left of my Pothos and Joy, and this is on its way out also. I don't know, it's barely in there. Yeah, what I learned from when I potted those Pothos and Joy cuttings was, excuse me, it has been so dry. It's like, this is probably why my plants are like suffering, but it's just been so dry. What I learned from potting this plant in pond is that because I had 3 cuttings total, I believe, and again, I'll insert pictures if I have, but each cutting had several leaves on them. I believe that I buried the node too deep, and that's why the petiole started to rot off like this. and that's why I lost all the leaves on those original nodes. So those original nodes, the other ones are in my prop box, which I'll show later. And then there's this one, which I don't know if I'm gonna keep this in here or not, but not much is happening here. It's surviving. Well, the way that's looking, I don't know. I'm probably gonna end up putting this in my prop box as well. So yeah, look out for another update on this one. And then in that same previous video, I had this village in Brazil that was gifted to me, and same thing, the leaf just fell off. It gave up on life, and I was going to put this in my prop box, but when I took it out of the pond, and again, I'll insert a picture, I saw that there's a tiny little, I don't know if it's the growth point or a node, but there's something going on with this smaller one here. So I said, I'm just gonna leave it. I'm gonna put it back and leave it and let it do its thing in this pond water reservoir with liquid dirt, and we'll see what happens, because it is activated. So that's good. I'm gonna leave it, and so there's not much of an update on this one right now. But it's still alive, so that's good. And also, this plant, you guys have probably, unless you've seen my very first video, which there's no reason to go back and see that video, you'll see that I had this plant, accordion, and it was beautiful. It would make these magenta leaves, like it was so beautiful. I hope I have a picture up here on the side, but this is what's left of her. I have one more one more plant that's left, and winter just took her down. Like, she could not take the winter. So at first, the leaves were starting to crisp and die off, and then I moved it, and then it had fungus gnats, so I changed the soil because I had been doing the mosquito bits and fleshes, but it was in a really large pot, and that's probably what the problem was, and I didn't realize that. Why did my air conditioner have to do that? I don't even have the air conditioner on. I repotted it into a similar size pot, and I probably should have downsized it, and it just gave up. Like, it completely gave up. I thought it was done. I was gonna throw it out, but I was like, let me just see. So I took it out of the soil, and the roots looked good. So I'll insert a picture also. Not only did the roots look good, it had new root growth. So I was like, you know, I'm not gonna throw it out. I'm gonna see. I put it in here, put it in pond to see what I was gonna do. I ended up having to cut these stalks down, but you see this one is like getting shriveled up here as well, even though here it's nice and white and healthy, but this is getting shriveled up, and it just doesn't look good in the top there. So I don't know, should I cut this again, cut it down again? But I don't know if the same thing's gonna happen. Like, I don't know what to do about that, if I should just keep cutting it, because again, the roots are good, like, and I can see them through here too. The roots look good. So I don't know if maybe I should cut it. Guys, tell me in the comments below, though, should I cut this lower to get rid of this top part that's like looking ugly? I just dropped pond everywhere. I haven't put it in a reservoir just yet. I've just been leaving it. I just watered it once through and left it, and I probably will put it in a reservoir of water. I didn't feel like it needed it at this time, because you can see the condensation there. This is the third one. There was 4 total, but the 4th one was just not looking good. And this one, I had to cut it so low. I was gonna throw this one out, but then again, when I looked at the roots, it had a lot of new root growth. So I said, all right, I'm not gonna cut it down then. And I'm thinking now, as I'm seeing this, that maybe I wanna put some damp moss around here, and maybe that will help. I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions on what you think I should do with this cordyceps, please let me know in the comments below. That is that. And last but certainly not least is my prop box. There's actually a lot going on in here these days. It started off with just my epi, but there's kind of a lot going on in here right now. So, starting off with my epi, it's doing pretty good actually. It did nothing for the first 2 weeks that I had it, and I was really stressed, but I'll try to show it here. If you guys remember, it originally came as a 3-node cutting, and I chopped it in 3, and this root here is new. If you can see that, it did not have this at all. This root here, that's new. It did have this little leaf growing, that's that, and it did have this. So, but this, I don't want to remove the moss, but I believe that there's a new root coming out of that aerial root. So it has some new root growth. So I'm happy about that. And then the other one is doing nothing. It looks the same. And ouch, my shoulder. And then the other one, because there was 3 total, this has a little tiny new root growth there. That little white little string is new, but these were here already. So they're not rotting and dying, which is good, but it's like slowly growing. And then on the other hand, like I said, I had the notes from my pothos and joy that the leaves rotted off, but if you can see here, there's a lot of new white root growth there. And this has only been in this prop box since last Thursday, so it's doing good. It has these several, excuse me, it has several little tiny new root growth there. There's that one. And I think this one, is this a pothos and joy? I believe this is a pothos and joy as well. Yeah, because the nodes are much tighter. And same thing, tiny new little root growth. It's only been in here since Thursday, so I'm excited about that. And then the last is my philodendron Brazil. It's not looking so hot. It's not rotted, but it ain't doing much. It's not doing much at all. Did I show the other Brazil? I think I did, right? So yeah, guys, that is it for my monthly updates. What's going on with some of my propagations and plants. If you are having new plants or new propagations and you feel like you're not seeing anything or you're not seeing enough growth or what you're expecting to see, just don't be discouraged. Just be patient. It is the middle of winter and the plants, they just do what they do. We cannot make them. We try to give them the best conditions possible, which we'll always try, but they still just gonna do what they do. And we just have to sit back and watch and wait. So yeah, these are my updates. I hope you enjoy seeing them. Let me know in the comments below if you have some plants that you're kind of like watching daily, like to see if it's like making any progress for you. Let me know how it's going for you. And I'll definitely stop back next month with some new updates, let you know what's going on with either some of these plants or some other plants or what's not going on at all. I'm just gonna let you guys know. So thank you again for watching and have a good night.